Now I get what you were saying, Doug. So shout outs to you. You're just like, hell no, I ain't signing the deal. Yeah, you're just a rare man. All right. Most men are one blow away from a plantation.
Yeah, so I like to think of it in terms of who likes who more. And in my opinion, it's obvious that men like women more in today's society. In relationship context, anybody who's in a relationship, especially a lot of men nowadays, you don't really see a lot of men leading these relationships. You see a lot of men deferring to their wives. Even if they're a super masculine guy, they're still deferring to their wives. And, you'll see these big time CEOs who built business and all this kind of stuff, and then they'll give a speech deferring to their wife, say, "Yeah, I wouldn't be anything, and this woman is the one who kept me in line and made sure that I did this and did that." Even if it's not true, they're still going to defer to the wife. So I mean, you can just see it in the way that men behave in society and the way that women are able to monetize their sexuality and their beauty. You can see who likes who more, and it's obvious that men like women more in today's society. I mean, we have so many
I agree.
examples like the man and the bear, or different examples like this. So you have to think about it from that context. And then when you think about it like that, that's why in the red vitamin we say, yo, the woman has to like the man more for the relationship to actually work. Because if the man likes the woman more, then she's going to look down upon him, because she's like, oh well, I mean, you're over here sipping over me, and this is what just guys just do. So you have to be in a. That's why the red vitamin guys are able to sustain relationships longer if they want to, because they're making it so that the woman likes them more versus the man liking the woman more in the relationship. And in today's society, in most relationships, the man definitely likes the women more. I mean, growing up, it was the men who were ready to settle down and start families earlier than the women. And I mean, and that's just what I've observed.
I
Um, so we have two new panelists. Welcome to the show, Sean, and welcome, Leonarda. Thanks for coming today.
It's good.
Thanks for having me on. I agree with
hey,
who was it that was just talking?
That was Reclaim. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's pretty much on the money on that. He's correct. Uh, you do have to get the woman to like you more, because otherwise she's gonna think you're a simp and she's gonna disrespect you. I know, because I'm said woman. So
So,
let's
so
go.
what do you think about who do you think's in control of marriage? Is it who are the buyers in the current dating market, men or women, when it comes to marriage?
oh, that is a tough. That's tough. I think it depends on the men and it depends on the women. You know, women are doing this thing right now where they really think they don't need a man. Well, they're saying they don't need a man. So I think right now women have been psychologized against their own instincts and their own nature. And they're doing things that if you could get them to like be unbrainwashed for a second, they would admit is the opposite of what they want. They would admit that what they really want is somebody to wife them up, for them to be secure, for them to have kids, that whole thing, to not go to
No,
work.
I don't think so. We aborted a third of Gen Z.
Yeah, that's
Right.
but that's proof of what I'm saying. When has it ever been the case that women, mothers, would kill their own children?
As most of you know, I have been fighting on the front lines of the simp epidemic for years, but I need to tell you about a quiet weapon being ratcheted up against men that is rarely talked about. It's not just the relentless anti-masculinity propaganda and OnlyFans hoes causing the societal issues that we discuss on this show. Did you know that the average city's tap water contains trace pharmaceuticals and endocrine disruptors? This often includes estrogen from birth control. The average adult consumes a credit card worth of plastic every single week. That's 5 grams of plastic a week on average. So it's no wonder that the average male's testosterone is half of what the average was 50 years ago. Testosterone levels decline 1% a year, and without a course correction, we are headed towards extinction. No matter how based you are, you need to be naturally boosting your testosterone. My friends at Chalk, CHOQ.com, are on a mission to save mankind from extinction by boosting your vitality. Chalk's Male Vitality Stack contains premium and potent herbs clinically studied to naturally boost your testosterone levels, sperm count, and overall vitality. Just one of the many ingredients in the Male Vitality Stack was studied in double-blind human clinical trials to boost total testosterone 20% in 90 days. When you boost your testosterone, you'll have more mental clarity, you're more capable of making decisions and taking risks. Having high testosterone will also affect your pheromones, so women will find you more attractive subconsciously. Get the Chalk Male Vitality Stack right now on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Use my name Pearl as your coupon code and you'll get 25% off site-wide on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. My name Pearl is the discount code.
Over and above themselves. I mean,
Always.
historically,
when they got freedom, when they got the freedom to make the choice that they wanted to do.
Yeah, they
Well-
found like 100 babies in like under a nun.
A nunnery in Ireland. Yep.
Yeah, this is what they want to do.
Wait, hold on. Are you guys talking about the Canada thing or the Ireland thing?
Well, I mean,
Both.
they found bones in bathhouses in Greece.
Okay, so
I
the
studied this
Canada
topic
thing
a
was a
lot.
total hoax.
Women are always killing their kids, always. Even in like the 1800s, it wasn't abnormal. I don't think it's a coincidence the infant mortality rate is really similar to the abortion rate today.
You read the super chat, Pearl?
Yeah, so women are the sellers. This is a straight option to buy contract. The woman gives the man the exclusive right, dating, but not the obligation to purchase, wipe up for a specified price within a set time.
Thank you, Zachary. Thank you very much.
I know. Sorry.
Thank you.
But sorry. Yeah. I don't know. I always hear that women are brainwashed. I don't think so. I think it's like,
Yeah,
you got to
That's
take
cap.
accountability for the choices you make. So I think women
No,
do.
Yeah, that's cap.
I'm gonna disagree
Wait.
wholeheartedly because I come from, seeing the women of like, so I'm like a first generation American, but last generation's Albanians were like in the 1800s because they were back in that time period based on culture and everything. And you didn't have this kind of behavior with women towards their children. When you did, that person would stand out as contrary to the norm, and everybody would really shun that person like, wow, they're just a horrible mother, like this isn't the norm. So fast forward to where we are with modern times, which I think everybody's brainwashed actually right now, both men and women. They just have different programming. Women now have some retarded idea that liberation means selling yourself into sex slavery or giving it away for nothing and being like, I'm free. That's a complete antithesis. Any woman who had any sense about the way the sexual marketplace works would never do that. That's like having a brand new car and letting 10 people drive it without having to do anything except fill the gas
I
and
disagree.
then looking for a buyer.
Yeah.
Totally
I disagree.
opposite.
Go ahead,
But,
Reclaim. What's your rebuttal?
just-
And then Sean, I'm gonna let Reclaim go, and then Sean, I'll have you go.
I just think the default programming for women is prostitution, exchange sex, exchange.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead. Oh, did he?
Well,
Uh-oh.
I come from a totally different, I guess,
I
culture of
don't
women.
think so. I think women, there's no incentive for women to be honest about being whores. So I think it's really easy to for women to say, oh, we were so different, but it's like you guys,
no.
they didn't have social
Nah,
media.
that's cap. Yeah,
Wait,
that's
listen,
cap.
when you lived in
The
when you lived in a
chastity-
village,
chastity-
And
when
like,
you when
and-
you
and-
lived in a village, everybody knew what you were doing.
Leonardo,
Everybody
hold on,
knew
go
who the
on.
whores were.
Leonardo, hold on.
yeah.
Pearl, go ahead. Go ahead, Pearl.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
the problem is as soon as they got smartphones and they got the opportunity, they said, let us be whores.
That ain't the problem.
Yeah, go.
Sean, go ahead.
No, I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say
Sean,
that
go
ain't the problem. 'Cause, I mean, I get it. That's how you feel. That's cool. But chastity belts existed for a reason. If girls were keeping the coochie locked up, then they wouldn't have had to create the technology to put a lock on the girl's box in order to make sure that didn't happen. So that's cap. Now, also too, what I would say to the thing, the buyer and seller, It depends because, sometimes the market is a seller market and sometimes it's a buyer's market. But what I would say is that women have a lot of unattractive deals, a lot of unattractive deals. They determine if it's attractive or unattractive. Now, men have a little bit of unattractive deals. And so the demand is in their favor, of course. So they have a more demand. And I would say if we had to call somebody a buyer and a seller, I would say men are the sellers. And they're not in the power position. It's a buyer's market. They're in the sellers because men sell themselves. They say, hey, here's my resume. Here's my profile. Most of the time, women say, I am the table, period. So they don't make a much of a listing of what they provide in the marketplace. Men come and say, hey, I work for Google. I have an equity compensation plan. Hey, I go to the gym. I'm a Christian. And so most men, they put down their listing, they say they market themselves, and then they try to get the partner. So I would say the deal and the terms favor women mostly, and we see that throughout society. Hence why even men, when they win and they get a deal, they say happy wife, happy life. And so they always, you know, just concede to the women. So yes, women are in the power. Now I get what you were saying, Doug. So shout outs to you. You're just like, hell no, I ain't signing a deal. Yeah, you're just a rare man. All right. Most men are one blowjob away from a plantation.
It's true. You know what? I deal with a lot of people that talk shit on the internet. You know what I mean? And I've seen them all fold.
All food.
I've seen so many, so it doesn't
And
really
then,
mean
like you
much.
said, the guys are just like, well, they've just been tricked by reptilians and the Illuminati. No, they haven't. Women haven't been tricked by the reptilians, the Illuminati, and the New World Order. They
Exactly.
are the New World
I
Order. They
Women,
are the reptilians.
They're
women
going to factory
Oh,
defaults.
hold on,
I'm
hold on,
gonna
hold on.
They
disagree
Pearl,
just
with
want.
both of you
Pearl, go ahead.
guys.
Hold
They're
on,
going
everyone.
to
Hold on,
factory
hold on,
That's
hold
default.
on,
okay.
hold on, hold on. Pearl, go ahead.
women just love being whores. And they
Yep.
tell you this. It's not. I think the
Exactly.
worst thing that we do is we don't believe women. Like when they'll do OnlyFans, I've interviewed a lot of these women. They're not traumatized. They're not broken. Most of them come from two-parent homes, to be honest. They just love having sex on camera. It's the excitement and the thrill of being in front of the camera.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
girls who do OnlyFans like being whores. Yeah, that's called the selective sample size. Like 100%.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
It's not
but
just the girls who do only. Wait, wait.
10%
okay.
of girls
Okay,
between
let's
18 and
I mean
21
let's
are doing OF.
yeah, and let's be real. Or who here was going to be a virgin on their wedding day? None of us.
Okay.
But no, but
Uh,
she's miscategorizing. It's
Yeah,
not just
go
the
ahead,
girls on
Nico.
OnlyFans. Here's what most guys understand who actually date women. Most women that you come across that you date, and especially if they're like a 6 and above, more than likely they have footage of them having sex on a Chad or a Tyrone's phone.
Oh yeah.
Guaranteed.
That's 100%
Oh,
Wait,
true.
wait.
100% true.
Guaranteed. No, listen,
Yep.
listen. Most of these women, hold on. Most of these women, they have if especially if they're over the age of 25, 26, 27, they have footage, whether it's an ex-boyfriend, whether it's a guy that they were sleeping with on occasion. I would say the majority of them have. So all and what happens with women who have OnlyFans, want to know why a lot of women get OnlyFans? Because they look at all their sex videos and it's like, hey, I have all these sex videos that are
I might as well
old.
make money off of them.
Right,
yeah.
right.
People calling me a hoe anyway when I post a bikini pic, so I might as well
I just
make
don't.
money off it.
I don't see women going to college and being brainwashed. I see them. Yay! I can't wait to be a whore. You know what I mean? It's like they might not like the
yeah,
consequences, boring, but I just think
Yeah.
they're there to have fun.
Yeah, it's the
Pearl. And
consequences of being judged that they don't like, the judgment. But if it were up to them and they weren't judged for the actions they were making in the whoredom lifestyle, then they would enjoy it just fine and there wouldn't be any issue. This is why you see 30% of women on college campuses on sugar daddy dating sites like Seeking Arrangement. Like they're looking for that type of quick, easy money hookup, exchange beauty or sex or purity or whatever you want to call it for goods and services.
and
And
and,
I
and
think
as
you
a
guys
as
are
a as
dealing
a
with some real bottom of the barrel women, to tell you the
No, these
it's
are
truth.
real out
They're
college,
here,
just
these are
people.
Leonardo.
college
They're just people.
educated women.
It's real
I
out
just
here.
But
gave you the
college
statistic.
doesn't mean shit, man. People are coming
These
out
are
with
just people, though.
degrees about how smells are racist. College doesn't mean crap.
Yeah, but I mean,
bullshit.
I've
it's
interviewed.
still it's still a
I've interviewed
Go on, go ahead.
I've interviewed 1,000 women from tradition. I've interviewed women from China, Germany, Brazil, Africa,
Russia,
Nigeria.
Africa,
Like
it's worse
I've
in
done
third world.
small town America. I've gone to like small town America, done interviews there. The answers are the same. They all want to go to college. They all get
Exactly.
married after the age of 25. And even the women that signal purity, so they might say, "Oh, I am pure. We didn't do that." They all got married after 25. If you were pure, you would have married at 21, but you didn't. So it's like,
Well, I
yeah.
didn't, lose my virginity until I was 25, and that was to my husband. So you're wrong on a
Well,
lot of
yeah,
these
but
fronts.
that's
When was
no,
that
but
in
that's
1997?
Yep. 1997, but I think
yeah.
you guys are dealing with some real bottom of the barrel
No,
hoes.
no,
It's
and
real out here.
even the virgins, they
That's
always
grass.
Take what you
they always
want.
even the virgins, they always do oral or something. It's like a get out of jail free card. You can catch chlamydia. And I'm not saying you, but like in general, it's like if you really ask them the questions about if they're virgins, they usually got fingered, they usually did oral, they usually did other stuff. And it's
Okay,
like
Do
but
you
this
have
wasn't
kids?
going on. This was not going on
Yes.
on this massive scale before the advent of feminism, and then this push
what's going
Yeah,
towards
that's
the
because
normalization.
men had were ruling over women with an iron fist. Like you couldn't do that shit.
Well, it's
You have
not.
to
It
Couldn't do
rule.
wasn't
it.
feminism.
Wait,
Hold
wait,
on.
wait. You gotta hold
There
on.
were
You gotta
rules.
rule over them to keep them from being whores. Is that what you're saying?
It
Yes,
wasn't
every
feminism.
major
It was
religious
the
text
internet.
does
They
that.
had the authority,
So
and
why?
they
So
had
then, so all right. So this goes back to you guys. It's all your fault now.
Well,
I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
okay.
yeah, the
I'll
simp
accept
men gave them
accountability, but
the freedom
it was. But here's what
and
you
the
can't
political
do.
influence.
Well, you guys
Here's what
should
you.
just start slapping
Guys,
bitches again.
we need
Well,
one
here's what
mic.
you can't do.
One mic, please. One mic.
I'm gonna go down to
Sean?
go ahead.
What's
Sean,
that?
go ahead.
I just dropped a
Oh,
couple of
okay.
people so the conversation flowed a
Do
little
you
better. Go
do you
ahead.
have a son though? Whatever your name is.
Leonardo.
No, I don't.
Okay, so you don't have no kids?
Nope.
Well, I mean, if you ask like a lot of these women who got married, 20 years ago, I guarantee you have sons, let them get a little older and then ask your sons how dating is. And I
Yeah.
guarantee they're
Well,
going to tell
I
you
do.
the same thing.
I have a younger brother that I know he tells me what it's like. It is rough out there for them. But I 100% think I think we're living in a feminist tyranny
Yeah.
where women are given every fucking privilege, no responsibility. They are simultaneously boss bitches, but also can't be held accountable for anything. Nothing's ever their fault. So we're in a total feminist tyranny. So the pendulum has swung to the max on the other side, and I think
Okay.
that's completely
But
unhealthy.
you
Right,
know,
right.
but in a
but-
way,
Go
you're
on, Pearl,
doing
go
this.
ahead.
You're doing the same thing when you're saying that women are brainwashed instead of holding
Yeah.
them accountable for what we choose.
Yeah.
Because you're taking
If
away.
I
You're
say
saying it's not
somebody's
their fault.
brainwashed, that doesn't let people off the hook because I think it's our job to wake up from that.
Okay.
Do I think some women just like being whores? Sure, absolutely. Do I think it would be this widespread epidemic? I think a lot of people in general would do whatever they can get away with, both men and women.
Yeah, but imagine if you had a guy and you said you were brainwashed into stealing. You were brainwashed into being a pedo. Like it's a double standard. When women do
I think you
something
could be
negative,
brainwashed into being gay. So there's that.
I don't.
Yeah, but you ain't giving them no grace
Hey.
in the dating market though. And here's the thing, like when it comes to women making choices, they're never held accountable. And you were trying to say, oh well, you're talking the bottom of the barrel women. No, we're not. Like Pearl says, she's talked to thousands of women, and then we're experiencing thousands of women. If you go outside, every once in a while, we're experiencing that. And if you're in the dating market, you're seeing the same trends go on and on. This is why this space has gotten so big, is because we've been seeing the same trends over and over again. And it's not with bottom of the barrel women. It's with women who have jobs, good jobs,
All the way
women
at the
who
top
have
and the
degrees,
bottom.
women who come from 2-parent homes, women who come from the church. You know, it's almost like the where'd you find them argument. Like, where'd you find them? Where are you finding these girls? Outside.
I'm
Well,
gonna.
do you know what's
Yeah.
crazy? My grandma, who's one of, she had 9 kids. And I asked her, because she kind of lived through she died, but before she did, I asked her like why she thought everyone got divorced. And she was from small town, middle of nowhere. And she said all the women wanted to sleep around because birth control, and they could. So she said she saw a difference like after birth control got invented, because they got the ability to be whores basically. And half of them, even the women of that age group, like my grandparents were separated when they died. Like most of them were separated when like they passed away.